Welcome to the new Sattology show and welcome Mr. Gordon and Mrs. Gordon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So we are today talking about pharmaceutical sales, and all of us know, and most of you know, people who are watching or in pharmaceutical sales, a lot of challenges coming up. The whole sales process is going to change. So me and Gordon are going to answer those questions. So let's begin.
Sure. One of the things at the forefront, as you mentioned, change. So, what are the emerging markets to watch for in the future of pharmaceutical sales? Which, again, the future is now, right? We talk future, but we're in the future now. The things are changing.
Yeah, it's one of the most competitive sales. I think that I love pharmaceutical sales in a way that it teaches you sales in the right way. You're knocking the doors, meeting the doctors, prescribing them their medicines to sell. Medicines. No, I'm not using the word drugs, but medicines to sell. And I love it. But this is going to change drastically because I don't think so. Uh, that last time we discussed about the clinic, the office of the clinic,
Mhm.
and most of the work is done by the admins over there, and they will see a lot of change. And pharmaceutical sales is directly linked to that particular change also, because the doctors are always computer illiterates. We all know that they don't like to operate on the computer, which they should not be. They should be acting on the human body, and that's what they do. And but with this AI change coming in the medical office, pharmaceutical sales is going to change, where the prescriptions or the recommendations are going to be chosen by the doctor, and that's where the AI will bring the change. In fact, this same question was spoken to about Prime Minister Modi just yesterday in the AI summit in Paris, and he said that's where the major change is going to come. I'm anticipating changes in terms of recommendation of medicines. Second is selection of medicines by the doctors. And the third major change is usually the pharma rep usually incentivizes the doctor. Now, that incentivization process is what makes the pharma sales, and the doctors recommend it. I think that is going to change because the patient will come with their own recommendation, and which they already do nowadays, thanks to the internet. But this is going to force a change that if the patients are also connected to the clinic on the same app and the doctor is connected on the same app, the patient will already know what to choose. So I don't think so. So it's going to increase the sales for pharmaceuticals, and most probably it is going to increase, but the patients will have more choice to say no.
Mhm.
This brings me to the next question that follows this one, is that these days a lot of patients prefer natural or holistic type of medication. So how will that affect pharmaceutical sales?
A great question. In USA, I think most of the alternative medicines are not allowed for recommendations. Most of the places still, but they are all categorized as FDA regulated ones, which is comes under nutrition category. I think with the patients having more choice, I think it's up to the. So first of all, let me clarify: it will never be a patient-driven market. Never. It's going to be regulated heavily by the government. So with that being said, I don't see much change coming in the alternate medicine category.
And then also, what about how does like insurance coverage play in determining the success of new drug sales?
Yeah, in your last question, I'll just quickly say that the consumer attitudes towards medication, consumers have always selected a non-chemical based medicines, non-chemical medicine. They always chosen that, and I think the regulatory environment in the US doesn't favor that so far. Therapies, yes, yoga is recommended as a therapy, or any other those kind of breathing exercises are therapy, but not in the medicine space. As far as insurance goes, insurance coverage is going to decrease further because the people's capacity to pay insurance premiums is going down unless paid by the government or paid by the. Majority of the sales nowadays are done over discounts over the counter using RX codes now, which is a highly subsidized uh, medium by the government or by charitable organizations, and that's how the people buy their medicines now. I'm talking about general people, not everyone. And I think for the viewers, it will make it very interesting that how AI is going to actually help people choose insurance coverage per prescription, and they're going to give them a choice. And once the choice is available, there'll be a lot of jumps from one insurance carrier to another carrier. I even think that in future, in few years down the line, insurance companies will be more regulated by the government, and probably in majority of the cases they will deny it, because with the AI being there, people are going to see more denials. There is no human element over there. You cannot talk to anyone, and so more denials will be done. So people are going to choose these insurance coverages based on the coupons they receive from the government. Very scary environment. I foresee that these changes, and I think that that requires a mindset change from the consumer point of view as well as from the pharmaceutical company's point of view, that how they can incorporate the best practices. So this will also force a change in reduction of the sales force for pharmaceutical sales. So we are looking at that option also, because if you look at the total population of the United States, and we are looking at virtually everyone is connected to some kind of insurance provider for their medicine needs, but the overall people refusing to take the prescribed medicines is going to increase with AI.
Mhm. Yeah, great point. And that's the next thing, topic of discussion, which you touched on a little bit, but what we do at Learn, Think, and Share is mindset. And so what exact formula of mindset change do the pharmaceutical reps need to have dealing with healthcare providers in this new age?
I think the major mindset change is that they are not the decision maker, number one.
Mhm.
That's a major change. The second major change I'm looking at is the sales methodology. Sales methodology is going to change because now also it has changed a lot with personalization. People who know software industry know what is personalization means. But the change which I am seeing is from the point of view of sales rep presenting options to to the doctors, because they're selling to doctors, and about their own medicinal drugs and those kind of things. But the doctors will have more options to choose from, and the incentivization of doctors is also going to reduce because the sales effort is less now. The travel time of sales reps will also decrease. Even now, that now most of the sales reps are still in person touch with the doctors. This is bound to change as well. I think the doctors also know that, and the sales reps also know that. So overall, I see the change coming out in the sales training, how you propose a drug, you how do you close a deal, how do you capture orders. All those things will be automated, one step after the other. Uh, the AI's capability is LLM based on the market which you program it for. Like we are only talking about the United States and Canada to some extent, but United States only, mostly. United States, the AI LLM models which are being sent here, which are heavily programmed for past usage, not the new usage.
Mhm.
So when you say about past usage, that means historical data is going to factor more. The new medicines and new drugs, AI won't trust because LLM, it won't trust. So that's a thing there.
Good point.
And my last question to you is, how might changes in global drug regulation affect market entry and sales tactics?
Actually, global drug regulations or medicinal regulations are very weak or not as stringent as United States.
Mhm.
I can only say three or four markets which is very strong, which is one is United States, second is Europe, third is India, and some other nations. But most of the other countries follow these three markets. Most of the other countries. India is big in alternative medicine, and so there also the model is. So we can say what USA consumes, and that's the main thing. And I see that the market entry factor for most of the pharmaceutical companies will become easier, much more easier with AI. And for doctors who have to recommend, they'll be forced to pick and choose what they can recommend. Already they cannot recommend everything else, but still they'll be more forced because the AI is going to force them to select one or two, three things only, which the AI will calculate that which patients got affected by which medicines most of the times. So people who are making good medicines, they're going to succeed more. People who are new entrants to this market have an uphill time to penetrate the market. I think so. That's what will happen. I think one thing also, one question was the ethical considerations also. You said, and ethical. I mean, patient data. Patient data is only important in the United States. It's no other country has that. Even if Americans are given the choice to use a HIPAA compliant system, which is 20% more expensive, not 20%, 60% more expensive, or non HIPAA compliant, everyone will choose non HIPAA compliant. They said, just get me right. So, in other countries, not important. Those data is not important. It's freely shared also in other countries. And I think one change I see in the insurance sector is India has allowed 100% FDI. It's a big market, 1.5 billion people. So when you say the insurance companies are going to go there, so I see if the American insurance carriers go there, the insurance rates for Americans will go down because they'll have a wider population to go to. Whether India is going to go fully, because there is a lot of opposition in India for the insurance model, because then the insurance companies control the doctor's freedom. And so that's a problem which is they're tackling it, and I don't think so it's going to go through in India. So with that being said, the insurance price will go up, and most of the American policymakers are eyeing European market, and that's where the whole political push is. That if Europe comes along with the USA, then the overall insurance prices for Americans go down because it's the same genetic pool and the similar medicines work on both sides. That's why,
Great point.
yeah. I think we are looking at exciting things, and people who are watching this program, they should know that Learn, Think, Share. We have launched the TME programs for them, for people who sign up over there, for corporates who can get tremendous help on mindset reset or mindset training with us.
Yeah, and without a doubt, the reason we established Learn, Think, Share is because we know times are changing, and even if you are successful, and that's what gets people in trouble. They're successful in pharmaceutical sales, real estate, like we discussed, then they think they've made it. But they're the ones that have to change their mindset because they're almost old dogs that have to learn new tricks. And so we can help with that. It's all mindset changing, and that who is going to be successful is the people who are changing and seeing the future trends as they occur.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other questions you have? No?
That we covered it all. I think we scratched the surface. And again, reach out to us for more information on the pharmaceutical sales and other fields as well. But yeah, these are broad topics. We're just giving you a little sample.
Yeah. And there's an online version of the course. You can sign up on learnthinkshare.com. That's the best place to begin. So please do that as soon as you get a chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Nice day.